Now, this next question, I'm looking forward to see how you answered. If someone was to ask you, what does Dr. William Millard Parsley stand for? What would you tell them? Not what they might perceive about you, but what would you say about yourself?
I would hope that it's honesty, because I like to tell people, I don't want to tell people that we can do something that we can't. I don't want to do surgery that shouldn't be done.
Right.
And I will tell them the best as I can what I think.
Do you think there's a difference in dermatology, the practice today, or the leadership of it than, say, 25 years ago?
Well, if you're talking about hair restoration, it's, matter of fact, it's light years. I'm sure some of the older people remember the old plugs that were done. And
like Cupid dolls.
And it was, I know all the stories behind that too.
Sure.
But when it was first done, and it grew hair, everybody said, "Oh my gosh, we're there." Then as we went along, we realized that's not so good. Some of the patients, we were doing more harm than good with it. But we went from big round grafts to what we call mini grafts and chopped up round grafts and slot grafts. But when Bobby Limmer started doing it under the microscope, it was so precise that you could take somebody that doesn't even know how to trim, and when it's blown up, you feel like you transect the hair. It's like cutting their leg off. From then on, everything was just very, very different.
Yeah, just whoosh.
Took more time.
Yeah. So question for you, might not be a fair one, but do you know how technology is? We as humans are really starting to, escalate or accelerate our technology advances in all areas, not just medicine or dermatology. Is it safe to say that we may one day just take a pill and get rid of male pattern baldness or baldness in general? Is it that simple, or is it so complex that we'll never really cure it?
No, I think that genetic engineering would be if you could alter the cells
at the cellular level.
But then they're working on chemicals too. Because the problem is the hair follicles have stem cells in them, but they're just not. They're not being stimulated. So they're trying to find out what stimulates them. You probably don't need to add stem cells. And if we can find out the signal that makes them then do what we want them to do. And they had all these big studies for years, and with the stem cells wouldn't do what they wanted to do. They couldn't activate them, and what stem cells can make a lot of things. And how can you get it to just make a hair? So I do think that it will eventually occur. It used to be thought that it would be right around the corner. It's not right around the corner though, but it will happen.
What's fascinating to me is the pattern is pretty similar on all types of heads. It's at the top and around. You don't see the side of the head rarely go bald. It's usually up in the top of the crown.
Well, in that sense, that's true.
And I'm sure there's some
a lot
correlation.
Of different patterns, though.
Yeah, I can imagine. That seems to be the most common one, and I was wondering if there's any cause and effect, but we still don't know, I guess.
It's probably because the receptor sites on the hair follicle are different. And it's how much alpha reductase they have there that will then convert testosterone to a chemical called dihydrotestosterone. And the more dihydrotestosterone that's made, the more sensitive they are to it. Those are all factors.